Hey everyone, I just wanted to hop on and give an update of what I've learned this last week in school. So, still focusing on micronutrients, vitamins, spices, things like that. Um, the first section of this week was really neat. We got to watch some like tutorials and videos on the basics of how to make various like herbal preparations. So, some examples that we learned how to make were tinctures, oil infusions, salves, decoctions, and infusions. So it was really beautiful to see that process and learn how to potentially make some at home I could use if I choose to do so in the future. The next section that we focused on, this was part of the Andrew Weil integrative medicine portion, was on micronutrients. So the micronutrients we focused on were magnesium, calcium, potassium, iron, copper, riboflavin, and vitamin C. One thing with micronutrients that maybe you're familiar with, maybe you're not, but if you've ever seen the acronym RDA, that stands for Recommended Dietary Allowance. And this was new for me as far as like understanding what that truly means. But the recommended dietary allowance is meant for healthy individuals, so it doesn't consider people with chronic medical conditions that may require more micronutrients, or people on certain medications that may benefit from taking additional micronutrients that could be depleted by the medications they're taking. And also, the recommended dietary allowance is based on with the goal of like preventing deficiencies, but it's not like focusing on optimizing those levels in the body. So I thought that was really profound because in my brain I was thinking, oh, well, that must be like an optimal dosage of those micronutrients, whereas actually it's like the minimum recommendation to prevent our body from being deficient in them. The next section that we studied were also Ayurvedic spices. One term I learned is the term flavonoid. So a lot of Ayurvedic spices are considered to be flavonoids, which basically means they're helpful as antioxidants. So basically, to sum it up, they help to decrease free radicals. And so free radicals are like toxins that build up as the body is like metabolizing things. It can be from external sources, so whether it's like pesticides, smoke exposure, but essentially we do not want an excess of free radicals in the body because long term they create this oxidative stress, and then oxidative stress over time ends up contributing to inflammation, to aging, to disease, cardiovascular disease especially. So flavonoids are a very beautiful tool to help decrease those free radicals in the body. And so some examples of Ayurvedic spices that are good for that are cumin, coriander, and fennel. And one like self-home study thing that we did this week was for one day sipping on sips of CCFT. So just the abbreviation for cumin, coriander, and fennel. And for me, I found that I had like less bloating. It for me had like a slightly diuretic effect, so meaning I was going to the bathroom a bit more often. But I do feel like I noticed like less puffiness in my face and less like bloating in the abdomen region. So I did feel like it was beneficial from a flavonoid standpoint. Um, Another thing to consider when it comes to micronutrients is some of them correlate to body size. So, depending on a person's size, they may benefit from more micronutrients. But not all micronutrients are based on body size. Like some are pretty consistent based on a person's like health status. So hopefully you learned something new. If you have any questions or if you learned something, please post it in the comments. And I look forward to talking to you with you soon. So I hope you have a great rest of the week. Bye.